talking about earlier today.
Earlier today, Brittney Griner found herself in the middle of more drama, something she's pretty much known for. But this time, no one saw it coming. She ended up in a tense exchange with Caitlin Clark. At first, it seemed like just another heated moment in the WNBA. But what came next will leave you stunned. You've probably noticed that Brittney always finds a way into the headlines, but now something has happened that might just bring her to tears. And what happened? A jaw-dropping video just came out, dropping a massive shocker. Before we dive into all the details, if you support Caitlin Clark, type "I got the Clark effect" in the comments section. Now, here's the real story. The video clearly shows signs suggesting Brittney might actually be a man. Let's go back a little to where the chaos all began. Brittney was caught on a viral video seemingly mouthing some seriously questionable words right after a foul. People say they heard her say trash and maybe even white girl. Others think she said trash and bad call. Lip readers are still trying to figure it out, but even if they can't, her expression told the full story.
Between Brittney Griner and Caitlin Clark, we can see here that Riley Gaines posted, Brittney Griner appeared to call Caitlin Clark trash and effing white girl after fouling out last night.
But here's where it gets weird. Brittney hasn't said a single word about the whole thing. Think about it. If someone accused you of saying something racist, wouldn't you be quick to jump on camera or social media to clear your name? You'd be saying something like, "Hey, I said bad call, ma, not that other stuff," right? But instead, Brittney has stayed completely silent, and that silence is making everything seem more suspicious.
I've watched that video countless times, and it sure looks like Brittney Griner says, "F***ing white girl."
Just like you'd expect, Brittney is catching heat from everywhere. Fans, the media, and now even Skip Bayless is speaking out, criticizing the WNBA for ignoring the situation. The pressure is rising, and it's getting intense. And just when you think things can't get any crazier, let's take a moment to remember who we're even talking about. Brittney Griner. Yeah, the same Brittney who was traded for the Merchant of Death. Sounds like a movie villain, right? But that was real life. The U.S. actually exchanged a dangerous arms dealer just to bring back a WNBA player. Now imagine this. What if it had been just an average white girl locked up in Russia? Do you think she'd already be back home sipping iced coffee and doing interviews? Let's be honest, no way. She'd still be behind bars, learning Russian, and wondering if her country even remembers her name. But Brittney fit all the right labels. She's black, she's openly gay, and she's a woman. Or at least, that's what we've always been told. Now things are taking a wild turn because the internet is digging up something way bigger than just trash talk or foul language. There's a full-on storm growing online, and it's all centered around one question. Is Brittney Griner actually a man?
But apparently, Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man.
1. Brittney Griner seemed confident she could make those bold remarks about Caitlin Clark and walk away untouched. But a newly surfaced, explosive photo has flipped the entire situation on its head, revealing a hidden truth she likely never wanted public. According to internal league reports, WNBA medical personnel have disclosed that Griner is now on an increased regimen of estrogen, specifically prescribed to reduce testosterone levels. Sources say this adjustment is intended to silence the growing speculation surrounding her gender identity, and could also play a role in securing a longer, more financially rewarding contract within the league.
We have heard nothing from the WNBA, absolutely nothing.
Brittney Griner elbowing Caitlin Clark in a crazy way and then calling her a trash white girl.
And Brittney Griner has not commented, which I find significant. I've watched that video countless times, and it sure looks like Brittney Griner says, "white girl."
The WNBA should investigate Brittney Griner's seemingly uttering profanities about white girl. Brittney Griner appeared to call Caitlin Clark trash and effing white girl.
She's
the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting.
Caitlin Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for forever.
Caitlin Clark is a rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP. She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
WNBA okay with one of its players saying white girl on the bench and getting caught by TV cameras saying such? I guess they are. I guess they're okay with it. Obviously, the league would very much not be okay with a white player saying black girl on the bench in anger and getting caught by TV cameras. That would be an immediate suspension, if not a career ender.
At the moment, the WNBA appears to be in full-blown crisis mode, unwilling to address the brewing controversy. Why is that? Because criticizing Brittney Griner might alienate major corporate sponsors closely linked to LGBTQ advocacy efforts. But here's the question circulating behind closed doors. Is the WNBA playing favorites? Are we seeing double standards when it comes to disciplinary actions, suggesting a clear bias against Caitlin Clark and the massive support she brings with her? It's ironic how quickly the narrative has shifted. Griner had been coasting, assuming her controversial statements about Clark would fade into the background, like many past scandals involving the league's so-called untouchable stars. But now, even courageous voices from within the WNBA's medical team are breaking ranks, finally revealing the truth behind the league's selective discipline and biased practices.
For said white girl. That fucking white girl was about Caitlin Clark's popularity, about her stature, about her impact on the entire league.
She has been abused repeatedly. We have shown you videos, just getting elbowed, getting crushed, inbound passes where they ram into her, just absolutely abused, and there clearly is a racial element to it.
The WNBA has come out numerous times. There's no place for hate. There's no place for racism.
Griner referring quite clearly, I believe, to Caitlin Clark and a white referee as, quote, trash ass white girl. If you are a straight white woman in the WNBA, there is no way that you feel completely safe.
The noise that's coming.
I don't appreciate the new fans that sit there and yell racial slurs at myself, my teammates, and the people that I play against. Because yeah, those might be opponents, but those are friends too. You know, they don't deserve that. So I don't appreciate the new fans. I think it's okay to do that.
Griner's usual strategy of dodging responsibility unraveled quickly. A whistleblower nurse dropped a massive revelation, leaking images that leave little room for speculation. The photos display clearly marked vials of estrogen medications, specifically prescription estradiol. So now people are asking the obvious question: why would Griner need to increase her estrogen intake unless there's a more complex truth being concealed? Let's dig into this because the layers of this scandal run deep and the drama is only intensifying. It all began with a courtside moment that went viral, where Griner was caught making inappropriate and targeted comments toward Caitlin Clark. And how did the WNBA respond? They didn't. No statements, no discipline, not even a comment. Just another example of their selective response to controversy, but once these photos began circulating online, panic seemed to set in across the league. The leaked hormone treatment raises big questions, not only about Griner's identity, but also about the fairness of her continued participation in women's basketball. And here's where things get even more troubling. The WNBA acts instantly when fans jeer at Clark or cross the line, launching full investigations. But when one of their shielded athletes behaves outrageously, nothing but silence. It's like a forensic investigation for the fans, but total inaction when it's Griner, as if the league's inner detectives suddenly go off duty. Let's be honest, backing Caitlin Clark isn't just about supporting a player, it's about calling for justice. If the WNBA claims to uphold equality and integrity, then it's time to back those claims with real accountability. And if you assumed the estrogen leak was the final twist in this saga, think again. What happened next might completely shift how you see the league. So here's a question for you. If your franchise's biggest star was exposed for taking powerful hormone medications right after launching a vicious attack on the sport's fastest-growing icon, would you sweep it under the rug to protect PR, or would you finally take a stand and say, this stops now?